Hey everyone, we're back with another week of FogCutter Live. I'm Mike Curtis, here with Preston James, founder of Trader's Edge Network. Preston, we are fresh off our fall Atlanta event. You're not even back to the land office yet, but chime in. Why don't you start off? Tell everyone how the weekend went in Atlanta.
Wow, it was incredible. We had just an incredible turnout. We had some decent market. I mean, I thought we could be in for it with how we had a real battle last week in the market,
We did.
more so than not. And that just means you're in the green in the morning, you're in the red a little bit later on, maybe finish in the green. It might go green, then red again. Some of the days feel like 2 or 3 trading days. That's how you know it's kind of battling out there, the Bulls and the Bears. Kind of what we had that in spades
Right.
last week.
Yeah,
But
definitely. I mean,
always go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say that Friday the 10th, right? So not the Friday we just had the week before, was that big, massive sell off day, right? And a lot of times you see a ton of that bearish energy hit, and it can really change the mood, change the trend of the market. But
Mhm.
last week, it just kind of, bounced around. It was grabbing its footing. The S&P just kind of held its 50-day moving average line, right? You can see
Mhm.
that right there. Um, so yeah, I think what we're seeing, right? We actually came down. I think it was the Nasdaq, and we met that swing low of a couple weeks prior. So what we're seeing is the market, instead of having a big kind of follow through sell off momentum changer, we're just kind of bouncing around, letting the market, really, it feels like it's getting its foothold. And now, Preston, what are your eyes doing from here? Are you looking forward to see if we can push out, keep the trend resuming, set a new high?
Well, Mike, what the first thing my mind goes toward is here we start a week chock full of earnings announcements,
Mm-hmm.
and the market starting the week not iffy, but very solid. Now we
Right.
still get to hear those earnings announcements. We get to see how the crowd reacts to them. I mean, this week we've got Netflix, we've got Tesla, we've got Intel in there. A lot of defense names, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
Northrop Grumman, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics.
Right.
Um, so a lot of, uh, yeah, I was just taking a look over them here. Couple more financials, but a lot of defense. And then, of course, the big, LRCX, Lamb Research
Right.
announces this week. Super exciting. And I'm still in Atlanta, so I have to mention that Coca-Cola announces before tomorrow's open. The Coca-Cola building's about 4 blocks from here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's we're right in the thick of it, right? A lot of earnings
Mhm.
season. So really the a catalyst could be some of these earnings just they hit, we see companies beating, maybe projecting out good outlooks into the next quarter, could
Mhm.
be the catalyst to just keep this bullish trend going that really has been intact since that end of April, where we've just seen a stubborn, strong bull market, right?
Mhm.
So even with that massive kind of scared selling that hit on October 10th, that Friday, we've just kind of bounced back. It's just slowly, it feels like it's just kind of inching its way higher. We've seen a few red days, some down days in the mix, but the market's just the word that keeps coming to my mind is just resilient. It's just
Mhm.
been resilient here.
Maybe something to add to that, Mike, is that October 10th, that Friday, that was that sudden, us against them with the China, with the
Right,
tariffs.
right.
Um, and there's been more conciliatory, reconciliatory, whatever, but there's been some positives on that relation today as well, where it's another
Mhm.
exhale
Right.
about what started that whole thing.
Yeah. No, that's a great point because some of this news that's been hitting where you think, oh, we've covered a lot of ground. Oh, we're maybe stretched. Oh, we're maybe a little overbought. And some of this news that hits that sometimes would spark a deeper pullback or maybe a couple of week drop in the market. We've really just been kind of shaking that off between the China and the rare earth mineral news, the government shutdown news, right? It's like the market is just kind of shrugging that off. It really hasn't hit the market Do you see that changing at all? Do you think the market just keeps kind of shrugging that off, like nothing to see here? They'll figure it out. It's going to get back to normal.
I think there's a lot of that, Mike. I mean, when it comes to politics and who's going to budge first, that's really when the shutdown's going to end and who's going to take credit for it and who's going to take the blame. And I think it'll get solved when it does. You found something interesting about this week where
Right.
they've been stalling those economic reports, but share what you found out about this Friday's. I believe it's
The
I
CPI.
can't remember the letters.
Yeah, the consumer price index. So just one of the reports that is closely watched due to its inflation implications, right? The consumer price index, CPI. There's also a PPI report, which is the producer price index, more of that wholesale level pricing barometer, where the CPI, they measure more of the consumer level, the prices. So a few of these government reports, because of the shutdown, haven't been released. But this Friday, because this is tied to Social Security, the cost of living adjustments, this will be published and released on Friday, the CPI report, which can give a little life to the market, or it could put a little bit of a wet blanket on the market if there's any sort of uptick in inflation or concern, because of course any rampant inflation
Mm-hmm.
could change the Fed's outlook on interest rate cuts, right? The way we can dial back any sort of inflation concerns is to keep the interest rates at a little higher level. So that one will probably be watched a little bit on Friday. Could also cause, outside of the big earnings we have this week, that
Mm-hmm.
Friday CPI report could be a little bit of a catalyst for some volatility.
That's great info. One other thing I'll add I think you can see it by looking at quotes, but it's not really flashing headlines in your face. But today, Apple is making not only a new 52-week high, but a new all-time high. I think,
Wow.
and so just looking at that, and again, starting earnings season with that type of action. Of course, it's based on there's a lot of success with the newest iPhone 17, whatever the hell it is right now. But between China, I mean, that's a very China centered as it's manufactured. I know all that's going to change, but that represents quite a few points on the NASDAQ to
Right.
have that type of stock gapping up to new highs and all-time highs on massive volume happening today on a Monday. Wow.
Yeah, pretty amazing. And yeah, the market has just, we have those couple of days where it dips and you see it in Apple's chart, right? It doesn't pattern the Nasdaq exactly, but you can see a few of those days where it dips and then the bulls come right back in, the buying comes right back in, and it just speaks to this market's resilience, the uptrend, the just momentum behind it has been pretty impressive.
Right. And we like to keep tabs on the overall market, what cycle, if you will, that it's in,
Mm-hmm.
because it kind of gives us the green light for the different setups that we like to see. One of my favorite ones, we call it around here the surprise factor setup. And just to share a trade that basically jumped up and down saying, look at me, while we were in the event in Atlanta. And it was a new money press, and we traded it live, ticker symbol CRM, salesforce.com. And basically they came out, they had an investor day, an annual day, and the CEO was just ripping off new increased guidance going forward. So this is not an earnings announcement, but here's CRM on the screen. Going back to April, you see where it bottomed. That's where a lot of stocks skidded to right there.
Mm-hmm.
But Apple basically has gone the other way of CRM, and lots of stocks have continued those tariff lows and have really climbed and notched ground. But CRM has not been one of them. They have not participated post-market correction. They did a little bit, but on days like last Thursday, when this new surprise guidance came out and there was enough price action and volume and interest, at least to warrant a money press trade. And we are off to an amazing start on this one. It's really finding more footing today on Monday. But I love these entries, Mike. I love knowing what the background market's doing. And then I love leaning on our setups, which answers the question, why this stock and why now? And then we add a strategy on top of it. So you have cycle, you have setup, you have strategy. I'm more excited about a new trade like this than hardly anything. And I'll tell you something right now. I'm way more excited about a new money press on a CRM because of all this reason why than I would trying to chase some 4 or 5 letter ticker symbol of a rare earth mineral new stock. And I was going to get, I'm conflating two things I was going to talk about, but I just want to maybe kind of raise the warning flag. Not that these companies aren't exciting. Yes, they're being talked about. Yes, they're the future. But when you get such massive buying rushing in on former $2 and $3 stocks, and now they're $20 and $30 stocks, and you can see it right in front of you. And there's such a FOMO there, but they remind me a lot of like marijuana stocks when all these states were saying okay, and any normal person could tell you they're legalizing this. They are good. They need space. This is going to grow. It's only going to grow like this. And man, on the stock side, you can get that explosion, you can get an implosion, and then you can get right back to the single digit stock for years.
Right.
And I would just hate to have people's eyes and minds just occupied with that, saying, no, that's the way, where the opportunity, I don't know, it's fleeting. It can be really fleeting. And I just would like to run a warning flag up just to not chase, like the rare earth mineral stock, like that is going to be the ultimate home run.
Right.
Not so fast.
A lot of buzzy speculation right now in that sector. So yeah, I think that's important. If you have been looking at those, proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Right. Make sure you position size. I think that analogy, Preston, of those marijuana stocks, I just remember when all that was starting to buzz and, oh, this state made it legal and which states are going to follow. And and it's a really good reminder because you did see a lot of those stocks really surge and then they just dropped. No, not right away, but sometimes it was a month, over a year, and then they've just kind of been pinned right back at that level.
They have you stuck, and you're sitting there. Now you're going to analyze now, if you start getting to the point where you're analyzing every state and every bill coming up on the legislature and who's voting for it, I mean, now you're cooked.
Right.
Where where the market cycle's doing its thing and there's other setups, but you get so wrapped in of trying to be right. And especially if you bought high and all you've seen it do is return to normal.
Right.
Just beware.
Yeah. Good stuff. Let me hit you with 2 more things, Preston. I want to ask you about gold first off, and then second, want to talk about just kind of what you're looking at the next week or two. So let's start with gold. I mean, I was shocked. You and I, we love gold. It's been a great investment. Obviously this last year and a half, 2 years. But I was shocked to see it up another $150 an ounce today.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, getting close to that 4,400 level again. It popped, it pulled back a little bit at the end of last week. And here it's just, I mean, when you see something like this just go so parabolic, where does your brain go? What are your thoughts?
You catch me by surprise on this. Man, look at the volume down there. Weren't you hearing? Wasn't Kyle telling us a story about people like there's lines now for people to cash in on this,
to buy? I think they're lining up to buy more gold.
Oh,
it's just like
buy.
This frenzy, yeah. So you kind of have your gym indicator, right? If your trainer at the gym is talking about it, if you're hearing a few people talking about how good their stocks are doing in a
Yeah,
week, that makes you a little skeptical, worried about, hey, maybe we've gone a little too high, too fast. And
right.
so that could be another little indicator, seeing just people lining up at stores to buy gold. I mean, Costco's been selling gold coins for a little while here, but yeah, I mean, look at just how stretched that is from some of the moving averages.
It's really something. And I mean, that used to be, that safe trade, and but crypto more and more has been now, especially the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I know they're getting a bid today too.
Right.
Um, yeah, I'm kind of without words on this gold move. I'm sure with the gold market, with all of the conspiracies, we could have people on here. You could be nonstop talk of every kind of opinion out there, what this means, and you're not seeing it right, you guys. What this really means is this, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my brain goes to one of your famous sayings, Preston. You never know how high they can go,
mhm,
right? Because you could have looked at this thing a month ago and said it's stretched. This thing's
mhm,
not dropping, or I mean, it's just gone too high, too fast. It's got to take a pause. It's got to take a breather. There's got to be profit taking, and
mhm.
then we've just seen it run even that much more over the last month. So I don't know. For me personally, I don't know if I'd be jumping in and buying much here, but I'd definitely be looking for an opportunity. There's some sort of pullback, some sort of consolidation, and
Yeah.
then maybe take a nibble. But this is something I know you and I were just glad we've been in this for a while to take advantage and enjoy this move
Hey,
higher.
well, yeah, we're no complaints from me, but I'm just labeling it as fascinating.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so wrap this one up, Preston. How is your brain looking? What are you thinking the next week or two? I know we're really, even though we've had these periods of feeling overbought, feeling stretched to the upside,
Mhm.
there's these brief periods where we get a little more defensive minded, but we really haven't um, cleared out positions. We've kept the accounts pretty fully invested. And is your
Mhm.
mindset just kind of staying in that same lane?
Yeah, I like to get some dry powder build up, and that can happen by just be staying in money presses, and we collect that weekly premium, right?
Right.
Sometimes, so you can take that out of your account, you can build it up, and wait for some other setups. And I mean, during earnings season, almost during every earnings season, there's going to be surprise factors. There's going to be reasons why to get involved, and say why this stock and why now, and answer that question. So
Yeah.
I've got some dry powder that I'm excited to see this week unfold, and then the next one. And I mean, maybe just in passing, we could look at Netflix. Um, this has been through all kinds of drama. I
Right.
believe Elon Musk was out. I don't, man. I try to be informed, but I don't want to be just drowned and swamped in the news. But Netflix has been really directionless, and so
Yeah.
coming back to that news, I think was it Elon Musk with an active campaign cancel your Netflix because there's some program on there that was controversial, something.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I mean, look at the 1 year of Netflix, but wow. So it's really taken a break here. Um, if it can get over earnings, and we're going to be able to judge this, Mike, as soon as freaking tomorrow after the close, which
Right.
means Wednesday could be go time. We'll have to see how the crowd reacts, but if this thing gaps up some and has a huge volume in the first hour to 90 minutes on Wednesday,
Mm-hmm.
the edge and odds is, and look how long that's taken a break
Right.
from its recent high. So this could be an amazing opportunity, and we don't know it yet. We'll know, we'll see it if we see it. But I love it when these big beasts like this take a break and go sideways. They do it a lot.
Definitely.
So
Yeah, good one to watch. Well,
mhm.
thanks, Peter. Wrap this one up. We love one of my favorite parts of Atlanta. For our first time ever, we pulled people up on the stage.
Oh, that was so
We
killer.
we just had a blast. So we, for our Wow insiders, we have these milestones, little checkpoints, just to see how you're progressing. Some people are brand new to trading options, others have experience. So we have a few of these milestones that helps you just progress through, help you feel some of that progress. So for example, placing your first live trade, hitting your first $250 in profit, hitting the first $2,000 in profit. But the people we pulled up on stage were our $10,000 profit club winners, right? Our five figure people that had made more than 10,000 in profits. And then we had there's about 100 people in the room, Preston. We had, I think it was 16 or 17 in that 5-figure profit club, and then another like 16 in the tier above that, our 6-figure profit club. And we love recognizing those people for their accomplishment, their dedication, putting the work in. But then what I love, I think the most, is just motivating other people that are maybe getting going, that are going to have some ups and downs, without question. That's part of the trading journey for most people. So hopefully sharing some of these stories help others out there stick with it, stay motivated, and really see the potential. Because they might hear of your success, Preston. They could hear me talk about gains, and it's like, oh, well, they've been doing it so long, they're so plugged in, right? They maybe discount that a little bit, which is understandable. But they hear someone just like themselves hitting a 6-figure profit club. It just lights people up. And then we actually handed out our first ever 7-figure, which is, we called it our 2 comma club, right? The 2 commas in that $1 million number, to Alex from Florida. So really, really fun. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to all of our 6-figure and 5-figure profit club.
Absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned them. I wish we had pictures so we'll get pictures for the next FogCutter.
Yeah, we'll have to flash those next week or something like that. But this is a story from Ronald S. He said, the money press method has been a game changer for me. He said, being part of Trader's Edge is showing me the path to financial freedom. He's like, I always knew it was achievable, but just could not navigate it. Thank you, Preston, Mike, everyone at Trader's Edge. So he was part of our small account mastery series. We do that every year, May, June, July, kind of kick that off in May usually. But he said he traded 2 accounts. Combined, they were about $15,000. He said, as of today, they're over $37,000. These results are made possible by everyone at Trader's Edge. So Ronald S., thanks for sending that in. We love hearing it. We think it can help motivate others to stick with it, stay plugged in, keep doing some of the work. There's so much profit potential in these strategies. So Preston, big thanks to you for everything you built here at Trader's Edge, all the lives you're impacting a positive way. It was just powerful for me to see that in Atlanta with all those people coming up, getting their awards. Really, really fun. Rewarding for us, rewarding Absolutely. For them, but rewarding for us as well. Just loving what we do here at Trader's Edge.
Absolutely. You're just amazing, Mike, your talents, and Kyle and everyone. I mean, I just saw our staff there and I just thought, they made that event possible. Just all the stuff every day. We've really found a solid group that are passionate about, and they don't really get it when they first come on, but all it takes is, I think, going to an event. They're like, hey, something's happening here. So really fun. Really fun stuff.
Fun, super exciting. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for your time. Preston, thanks for all your insights. Again, we love doing these to kick off the week, hopefully help all of you at home kind of steer through all the noise and chaos, cut through the fog of everything that's going on out there in the financial markets. So tune in next week. We'll be back with another edition of our FogCutter Live. Thanks, Preston.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks a lot.